My mom's just getting transported from
I have mine.
Hey, making friends.
Yeah, we met last week. Yeah, we talked. Yes.
It's just same thing like the last time it was recorded.
I'm going to check one thing.
We don't have all those slides.
All right, so which camera is actually our Facebook camera? Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be just like when you guys did the one at BB. Yes. Just look at that one. This is just going to be a side shot.
Then maybe switch back and forth.
Yeah, but just look at the front one.
Okay.
I know from Carol she was maybe after this one.
Thinking of it. Literally.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think we are about ready to get started right on time. Welcome. I am Deborah Tufel, the President and CEO of the Hutchinson-Reno County Chamber of Commerce, and I know most of you, but I just wanted to point that out because we are live this afternoon. We're actually Facebook Living this event for our members and for some of the media that weren't able to be in the room. And for some very special folks that were part of this project that couldn't be here today that really wanted to not miss out on this event. So humor us that we have various cameras going on, and we just want to thank all of you for coming out to celebrate this afternoon. And I guess with much awaiting the suspense that's been happening about what is the press conference that the Hutch Chamber and the Greater Hutch team have put together this afternoon. So the secret is out of the bag. We are here this afternoon to celebrate the announcement of a new company that is going to be locating in downtown Hutchinson at 120 East 3rd. This has been many months in the making, and much teamwork has gone into bringing this company to Hutch. And so we're very excited to announce eNGines-LPG, who is a company that has started a number of years ago in Ohio, and they have now found the need to continue to expand their footprint and grow. And so we are very pleased. You're going to be seeing and hearing from many members of the project team and the principals of the company this afternoon that I just can't reiterate enough the importance of teamwork in getting economic development deals done. We couldn't do this project without many of you that were here in the room. And I want to give some special recognition really to the original owners of this building who had the vision and the fortitude to stick with us through thick and thin to market this building. And I'll talk about them in a little bit and kind of the trajectory of this project and how a project unfolds. Economic development is one of those mysteries. It goes on behind the scenes, and the media is always saying, what can you tell us? And we're always saying, well, wait until the announcement, because we can't talk about it until the deal is done. And so finally we're here today to be able to talk about the mechanics of an economic development project, and we'll be giving many thanks along the way. I don't want to steal the thunder of the chairman this year of the Hutchinson-Reno County Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Brad Pryor, so I'm going to introduce Brad and let him make a few remarks.
Thank you, Deborah. Good afternoon to all. Very beautiful day in Hutchinson. Forget the weather. I'm very honored to serve as the 2018 Chamber of Commerce Board Chair and speak to you all today. This community is very near and dear to my heart, and has been for some time now. My grandparents moved here in 1976 and acquired a business, and my wife and I moved here in 2006 to do something very similar. Hutchinson is a very special place to raise a family. I believe the future is bright for Hutchinson and Reno County, and the best yet is to come. I'm very proud of Deborah, Abby, and the Chamber of Commerce team. All have worked hard this year and built tremendous momentum. Today is a celebration. Today is a celebration as a vacant building turns into an endless opportunity for an entrepreneur and creates jobs here locally. The goal of our economic development efforts of the Chamber is to attract new jobs and investment to Reno County. This project shows precisely how we achieve our goals by adding 10, 20, and 50 jobs at a time to our economy. With this announcement, to date, our Greater Hutch team has announced 180 jobs to be added to Hutchinson and Reno County. We are honored to be chosen by Matt and his team to be the new home of their company. I know that Hutchinson will surround them with support as they grow their national business and supply the nation with a superior product. On behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, Hutchinson-Reno County business community, I would like to thank Matt and his family for choosing Hutchinson to be the location of their new facility. Welcome to the community.
So when we first learned about this project, I looked back in our project files. It was March 14th, and we received an inquiry under a code name, Project Home. And there's not much science behind the naming of projects. There's usually some special tie. And in this case, we learned that Project Home was because the principals of this company have very strong ties to Kansas, and this was going to be somewhat of a homecoming for them. But they really did launch a statewide search for the right real estate and the right community and the right workforce to make this come together. And so we learned about it under code name. Abby Stockerbrand manages our economic development program. Anytime an inquiry comes in, she quickly goes to work within minutes to put together the right real estate package, the right information about our workforce, and all of those right selling points about why we know Hutchinson is the right place for growth. But sometimes it's not a foregone conclusion because there's great competition out there. And we know that Matt and Monica and their team looked high and low across the state of Kansas and maybe multiple states to find the right property. But the interesting thing about Project Home from the very beginning was they wanted a building with character. So we went to work finding buildings with character across the community that would fit the bill. And so it was interesting. We looked at 3 pieces of real estate first, and I guess we saved the best for last because the last building we showed them was the one that they ended up choosing. But it was great to spend, it was actually in June, a late day in June, when they actually came and looked at the buildings on the ground. And we took them around the community with Josie Thompson and Mary Beth Reimer and the JP Wygand team to look at a variety of real estate. And so I want to just recognize those 2 ladies because they were the boots on the ground that helped put that site visit together. And would you 2 stand for just a moment so you can be recognized for your work? they really made Matt and Monica feel right at home. It was great to get to meet some of the members of the family that day. When we looked at the list of the folks that were coming, in fact, we looked at the list and we said, hey, a member of Van Halen's coming. It's kind of a joke. Monica's brother, Sammy Hagar, not Hagar, was coming in on the site team. And so we welcomed them to the airport. We took them on a tour around a lot of real estate around the community. And then we ended up here in downtown Hutchinson. And you all know downtown Hutchinson has so much promise. We have restaurants, we have buildings that are coming back to life. We have loft living, and we have definitely some unique character, brick buildings that really sell well, and some brick streets that I think Matt thought were quite quaint and appealing. So it was really kind of a foregone conclusion then at that point, why wouldn't you want to locate here? And then we took them over to one of our newest breweries, the Salt City Brewery, and any project gets done with a little bit of beer thrown in the mix, and so that was great to get to showcase that. But anyway, it was a wonderful day. They came back again in August. We took a little bit deeper dive. We met with the city team. We met with the workforce team. I cannot brag enough about the special quality of the workforce here in Hutchinson. One of the things that helps us sell projects, bar none, is the Hutchinson Career and Technical Education Academy. If you haven't been out to it, you have to go see what happens behind those doors, because the students in there are getting the most world-class technical training that you can find. It's a wonderful partnership between USD 308 and our Hutchinson Community College. And so that was a special ingredient of this. And so I want to thank those of you in the room from Hutchinson Community College and the Hutchinson Career and Technical Education Academy with USD 308. We couldn't get these projects done without you. Back in the back of the room, Steve Porter, Dave Mullins. I'm probably missing someone else in the room, but thank you to Dr. File. Thank you to Gary Price with USD 308. You were all a part of that afternoon. And so, with all of those ingredients, how could one say no to Hutchinson, you know, at the end of the day? But existing buildings do take work. They take code compliance, they take some creativity, and we know there are going to be some special things that have to be addressed. And so Abby went to work quickly, meeting with John Deerdoff, with Jim Seitnader, and with the code and planning teams at the city of Hutchinson. And we couldn't get these deals done without them thinking about how can we make this a way that businesses can get into these older buildings. So thank you to John Deerdoff and your whole team. We couldn't do these projects without you either. So without any more further ado, I want to introduce the guy who had the vision for this building, because it did take a vision. This wasn't really cut and dried that this footprint was exactly what they were looking for, but with Matt's vision and his team's vision, this has all come together. So I want to introduce Mr. Matthew Rozier, and I'm going to let Matt get up and introduce some of his family members that are here as well. But welcome to Hutchinson, Matt.
Good afternoon. First of all, let me apologize for the weather. You know, typically when we're in Ohio and we talk about snow, we talk about feet, not inches. So I hope this doesn't slow everything down for everybody. But thank you for welcoming us to Hutch. You know, it's not my first time to Hutch. In 1993, I had to go to Druber Donuts in Newton, Kansas. And I was a student at K-State at the time. I think it was midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. We go down to Druber's, and you know, locals know what I'm talking about. Probably the best donuts around. But a buddy of mine lived just south of Newton, and so we went to his house, and I happened to be interested in a certain person at the time who lived in Haven, of all places. And I walked in there and that morning, or after we'd gotten up from Druber's, and asked my buddy's dad, I said, hey, how do I get to Haven? He goes, have you ever been to Hutch? I said, well, no. He goes, well, you're almost there. And he was right. I will tell you. We were overwhelmed at Hutch, and that is why we were here. From, as my father-in-law likes to say, 2 butts, 1 pants. I'm going to explain that little metaphor here. There's really a great synergy of people that work together that have helped bring us together. Whether it's Deborah and Abby, 2 butts, 1 pan. We were taken back the moment we walked here from all the buildings. From Josie and Mary Beth, truly 2 butts, 1 pan. I'm telling you. It has been just an absolute delight to be here. We are a family business. Started in 2013 with our goal to provide a natural gas propane engine that would essentially run off anything in between, any gas you could possibly think about. And so since then, we've matured as a company into a company today that provides environmentally safe engine solutions. And that's who we are. We are a family-based business through and through. Our employees are our family are our employees, and that's what I think at the core holds us the strongest. We have some very, very strong, we'll just call them moral fibers. And I said, don't say that very lightly, and hope that you embrace what I'm about to say. You really can't have moral fiber until you throw it out there, and you can't really throw it out there until you live it. And at eNGines, trust me, we live it. Our first one is, we don't lie. We may every now and then joke around a little bit, but our goal is to tell the truth. May not like the truth, but we're going to tell you the truth. Second thing we do is we're not going to cheat. And I know you guys are going, oh, we've heard this before, we've heard that before, but these are our company cornerstones. Third thing that we do is we know we're going to fall. It happens. We all fall down. What we value is how we get back up. This is a testament today of us being knocked down, because for a while, it's hard being a small business owner. And it's refreshing to walk into a community that respects entrepreneurship. Our vision for the building is to help others develop just like we've developed. To be able to take that, kick in the pants and be able to get back up. I like to say I can do this on my own, but I can't. And I like to say I'm the smartest guy in the room, but trust me, I'm not. But what I do know are the smartest people in the world, period. I was fortunate enough, my CFO is here today, believe it or not. Dalen Zeish, he lives in Wichita. We're a kind of a spread out partnership. My father-in-law and my mother-in-law are here from Wichita, Mike and Jenny Hager, great people. Without their support, trust me, we wouldn't be here. My dad and his wife are here from Junction City. My son and daughter, Gia and Dominic, and of course my partner in crime, my wife, Monica. Everybody here is related one way or another. The partners that aren't here, Brian Hopkins, Mike Hopkins, Bill Hager, Rick Larkin, Brian Brzezowski. Those are the partnerships of eNGines-LPG. We're all related. We've all worked for each other for 20 years. And that's what makes us a special company, because we hold our values, don't lie, don't cheat, tell the truth. We're going to get knocked down, let's get back up, as our family values. And we expect that for the people that come into our business. Because once they're in, they're in. It's hard to get out, because everybody is family at eNGines-LPG. So again, thank you. I like to say, Hutch is a very unique place. I've had some conversations with people about, Rozier, why are you going to Hutch? Why Hutch? There's no good freight routes through Hutch. Okay, I get what you're saying. But it's very rarely do you find a community, and trust me, we've looked. We've half a dozen different communities that have been as welcoming and as supportive as Hutch has. I do have one big thank you before I sit down. So the lady to my left, it's kind of funny. Alicia's last name is Hutchinson. And, I can remember, we started down this process, and there were several states that we reached out to. And of all the states that we reached out to, there was only one that aggressively came at us. And the one person who aggressively came at us is Alicia. And as we talked, and she saw my vision for what we want to do with, where we want to take our business, she named it Project Home. And, there's no better name for this project than home. My dad lives in Junction. My in-laws live in Wichita. My wife, went to Bishop Carroll. Unfortunately, she went to Wichita State. That's okay. I had the opportunity to go to K-State. So it really defined this project, and more importantly, it was a perfect definition of eNGines-LPG, of who we are and what we want to do and where we're going. So thank you for having us and welcoming us to the community. We look forward to meeting everybody. I'm sure I've met everybody once or twice. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 times. There's so many new people. You only have to know me once. I got to meet you a few times. But thank you for welcoming us to Hutch. Very much appreciate it.
Well, I barely need to introduce her. As Matt said, Alicia Janesco Hutchings has been working this project thick and thin from day one, and I've had the privilege to work with Alicia for many years. She actually represents the Kansas Department of Commerce and is one of the recruitment team for our state of Kansas. And so most of you know that we get projects one of 2 ways. We either get them from a referral, we get them from a regional partner, or they come in through the state. And so about half of the projects that we work on actually come to us through a site search through the state, and Alicia is on the front lines of those every day. And it's always a great day when we get to welcome her to the community, whether it's for a site visit or whether it's for a celebration. So I would love Alicia to come to the stage and say a few words.
Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate that. So, as you mentioned, I'm one of the business project managers for the Kansas Department of Commerce. This is what we do day in and day out. And now Matt has made me all emotional. And I'm going to be a strong woman up here and get through this. So, because you know what? The reason why we do this, it becomes very personal to you. Our jobs as economic developers, Deborah, Abby, we all know that, we really have our heart into this, to create jobs and capital investment for the state of Kansas. And today we're successful, and that brings so much joy to our hearts, and it was such a pleasure to work with you and your family and get to know you guys. I mean, when you can work together as a team, and because we both have the same goal, you want to find a good home for your company, a place to, grow and raise your family, and we want to grow the economy in Kansas and create jobs for our citizens. So, I mean, I can't tell you how great it's been working with you. And to see you breathe a new life into a beautiful building. Something that's, I mean, when I went in there on the tour, I was like, this is it. You've got to buy this. I mean, it was gorgeous. And to see that happen is really amazing. I do want to say that what a pleasure it is to work with Deborah and Abby and the whole economic development team and the Chamber of Commerce down here. When I first talked to Matt on the phone and we were talking about site visits and communities, I assured him that he has no worries when he goes to Hutch, because I knew these 2 ladies were going to get it done, and I didn't have to worry about a single thing, and I could bring them here. And was I right? 100%. That's right. Because, I mean, you guys as a community, you're very lucky to have these 2 women leading the charge in your economic development. They're professional, they're passionate about what they do, and they're committed to it every day. And everything I receive from your community and I can pass on to companies and clients is top notch. And I want to honor them because they do so much heavy lifting in this process. I just have to feed them the leads, and they get it done. So thank
you. Time for raise.
Mike, you're always full of one-liners. I'm not going to repeat that. It didn't come up on the microphone.
I got it in the notes.
So there's, as I said, economic development is a team sport. Alicia really said it best. It's all about every day thinking about how we can grow our communities and how can we continue to create jobs for citizens of this state and this community. And that's what keeps us up at night, and that's what keeps us doing this every day. So Alicia said it very well. We could not do what we do without good, solid public policy. And I mentioned the city for just a minute, but we have some elected officials from both the city, the county, as well as the state who help enact policy that help us get things done. So Councilwoman Jade Pyros de Carvalho, I am going to mispronounce your name every time, but I try. I don't know if there are any other city council people in the room, but I want to recognize you if there are. I didn't point out Mr. Gary Meager. He is our county administrator, Reno County administrator, and he leads a solid team of folks there at Reno County to help get things done. They had an integral piece in an incentive that really help us create jobs in this community. So thank you to Gary, and thank you to the county commissioners that help with that every day. There are also several state representatives in the room. So we have Representative Seiwert, if you want to wave to the crowd. We have Representative Jason Probst. Let me see, we have newly elected Representative Paul Wagner standing here in the wings. And we also have our state senator, Mr. Ed Berger, who is up next on the agenda. And Ed and all of you help enact policies and economic development tools that come to bear on projects like this. So I would like to welcome Ed Berger to the stage.
Well, thank you, Deborah. It's a very big day for Hutchinson, Matt. And I liked Matt's remarks talking about it was really a no-brainer to come to Hutchinson, because we do have so much to offer, from the training side to the workforce to a community that is just very much engaged in progress. And your choice was a great choice, and we hope that's a partnership that lasts forever. The kinds of things that we do in Hutchinson and Reno County are unique, certainly, but I think the partnership that we have with the Department of Commerce has caused many industries to come to Hutchinson and Reno County, and this is no exception. Certainly we express our appreciation to Secretary North and Alicia for her work in making this a reality. Certainly that will make the community stronger, opening up some possibilities for people that are looking to come to Hutchinson and discover what we know about this community. Those partnerships with the state are very essential to our success and certainly to the success of the state. So again, we appreciate your choice. We think it was a great choice and look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
There are a couple of other people in the room I want to recognize that are here representing some folks. Mr. Mike Zammersla is here representing Senator Pat Roberts. And let's give, I'm sorry, Senator Jerry Moran, absolutely. My mistake. And then we also have Miss Katie Sawyer somewhere in the back of the room. I saw her come in. Katie, thank you for being here. You're here on behalf of Congressman Roger Marshall. I'll get that one right. There's a lot of names to keep straight. So thank you all for being here. There are some very special people that I hope are tuned in via our Facebook feed that I want to recognize. We have worked hand in hand with Mrs. Mary Jane Boyd. She has been a close colleague and friend of Josie Thompson for many, many years. Back in the day when Bob Boyd was still living, Josie worked as the right hand to Bob, and Bob and Mary Jane had a vision for Hutchinson. They wanted to invest in this community for the better, and Bob wanted to acquire this building even when maybe it wasn't such a good bet back in the day. About 10 years ago, when he acquired the building, he and Mary Jane, to try to attract a manufacturer to bring the Betts Bakery back to life. And so I want to honor the memory of Bob Boyd and the vision that he had, and just thank Matt and Monica for embracing that and for having the vision that you have, because it is doing Mary Jane Boyd's heart so much good. And her son, I think, is tuning in as well from Kansas City. And she would have been here, but she was already scheduled to be out of town. But she sends her congratulations to you and to Monica and Matt and your whole family, and she sends congratulations to this community. She sees great things ahead with this landing in our downtown community, so thank you to Mary Jane and Bob and that vision that they had. Well, that is all that we had planned for the program today. I know that some of you are here in the audience from the media, and you're going to have many questions and want to do interviews, so we're going to allow time for that as well. I think we have some refreshments set up in the back of the room, so please help yourselves to those. And just join me in giving a really warm Hutchinson and Reno County welcome to Matt and Monica Roser.
forgot to mention, I got a couple eye winks, but for everybody afterwards, we're actually going to open up the building and would love for everybody here to come over and take a look at the building. You get an idea of what our vision for that building is and where it is today, and see where it starts and where we're going to take it.
Is the heat is working?
Dad, we'll get to that part. Where are your comments? Where are your comments?
All right, well, I think that concludes the program this afternoon. Again, welcome to eNGines-LPG to Hutchinson. We're so glad to have you here and look forward to the year ahead. Thanks. Thank you all for coming.
The heat is working. What the hell is this?
You better be on. No, they just shed some of this heat over there.
They're in the truck right now.
Not working. No, it looks like it's